Okay, let's dive into this. There's this amazing chemical mystery that's hiding in plain sight, right there in your kitchen. We're about to pull back the curtain on the secrets behind some of the most common tastes and feelings we experience every single day.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? You've known this your whole life, right? Lemons make you pucker up, but soap, well, you definitely don't want to get that in your mouth. It's bitter, it's slippery. This simple, everyday question is actually our doorway into some really incredible chemistry.
You see, these sensations that you know so well, they're basically clues. They're telling a story about two totally different, kind of opposite types of chemical compounds that are literally all around us.
All right, so let's line up the evidence. In one corner, you've got the sour stuff, lemons, vinegar, even tamarind. And in the other corner, you have the things that are bitter and have that classic slippery feel, like baking soda, soap, and lime water. They seem like complete opposites. And you know what? That's the whole key to this mystery.
And here they are, the chemical culprits. The reason for all these big differences comes down to two categories, acids and bases. These are the characters responsible for everything we've been talking about.
So let's start with acids. The name kind of gives it away, right? They're behind that sour taste in things like lemons, which have citric acid, or vinegar, which is acetic acid. But what actually makes something an acid? Well, chemically, it all boils down to this. When you put them in water, they let go of a hydrogen ion, that little H+.
And then you've got the other team, bases. They're the chemical opposite of acids. They're bitter and feel slippery. Just think about that feeling of soap between your fingers. Their chemical superpower is releasing a hydroxide ion, that OH-, when they're in water.
Okay, so we know what they are. Great. But that brings up a whole new problem, doesn't it? How are we supposed to tell what's an acid and what's a base if we can't, and really shouldn't, go around tasting everything?
And let me be super clear on this. It's one thing to talk about the sour taste of a lemon, but it is incredibly dangerous to taste or touch chemicals you don't know. Strong acids, like you'd find in a lab, are seriously corrosive and can give you a nasty burn. So, safety first, always.
So yeah, we've got a bit of a dilemma here. We need a way to figure out what's what, but without relying on our senses of taste or touch at all.
And that question, how to do this safely, led chemists to a solution that is just brilliantly simple.
We use an indicator. These things are like little chemical detectives. They literally change color to tell you what they're mixed with, giving us a bright, clear, visual clue without any of the danger.
All right, let's go see these little detectives in action, and we'll start with an example you might have actually seen before. Get this, you've probably seen this happen. That yellow curry or mustard stain on your shirt, it turns a kind of reddish brown when you wash it with soap. Why? Because the soap is a base, and the turmeric in the food is a natural indicator. You've been doing chemistry this whole time and didn't even know it. How cool is that?
Now, in a chemistry lab, the go-to tool is often litmus paper, and the results are crystal clear. You dip blue litmus paper into an acid, and bam, it turns red. You dip red litmus paper into a base, and it turns blue. It's a simple, undeniable signal.
And litmus is just the start. Chemists have a whole toolkit of these things. Methyl orange turns pink in acid and yellow in a base. And then there's phenolphthalein, totally colorless in an acid, but it turns this incredible, vibrant pink in a base. Each one gives us a different way to see the chemistry that's happening.
So this leads to a really interesting question. We know acids and bases are opposites. So what happens if you actually put them together? Do they have a big chemical showdown?
Well, let's walk through it. You take an acid, you add a base. The H+ from the acid and the OH- from the base, they find each other. And what they do is they completely cancel each other out. And what are you left with? Two of the most neutral things on the planet, regular old salt and plain water. That's it. This reaction is called neutralization.
And believe me, this isn't just some neat trick you do in a lab. This neutralization reaction is happening all around you, and we actually use it to solve problems all the time.
I mean, think about it. When your stomach is upset from too much acid, what do? You take an antacid, that's a base, to neutralize it. Farmers use a base like lime to treat acidic soil so their crops can grow better. Heck, even brushing your teeth is an act of neutralization. You're fighting off the acids left behind by food.
But let's bring this all the way home. I want to leave you with one last thought, and honestly, it's kind of a mind bender. We've been talking about acids like they are this external thing, but they're so much closer than you think. Just let this sink in. The very building blocks that make you, are acids, the proteins that make up your muscles and cells. They're made from amino acids. Your genetic code, the literal blueprint for who you are, that's deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA. Even the fat that stores energy in your body is made of fatty acids. We are, in a very real way, built from acids.
Which really just leaves us with one final thought to chew on. If we ourselves are literally creatures of acid, it just makes you wonder, right? What other invisible chemical forces are out there quietly shaping our entire world in ways we haven't even begun to notice yet?